The 1980s was a decade of unforgettable trends and iconic moments. From the Rubik's Cube craze to the arrival of McNuggets, the era had it all. Who knew that behind these cultural phenomena, there were hidden gems just waiting to be rediscovered? Join us as we explore 30 totally awesome and forgotten facts from the 80s. Erno Rubik, a Hungarian architect and professor, invented the Rubik's Cube in 1974. Initially called the Magic Cube, it was designed to help students learn three-dimensional geometry. Before the cube challenged players, it challenged its creator, who struggled to initially solve it. It took him over a month to figure out the small cube, but by 1980, the cube was licensed to Ideal Toy Corporation and became a global sensation, selling over 200 million units by 1981. After mastering the Rubik's Cube, what other strategic moves changed history? Before we explore it, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. In December 1989, the U.S. military launched Operation Just Cause to remove Panama's leader, Manuel Noriega, who was accused of substance trafficking. Seeking safety, he hid in the Vatican Embassy in Panama City. To force him out, U.S. forces played loud music, including Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone at high volumes. The playlist filled with rock, metal, and pop aimed to disturb Noriega and make him surrender. After the intense tactics in Panama, what happens when mascots clash? Let's explore the Battle of Battery Bunnies next. Outside the United States, Duracell commercials featured the Duracell Bunny, a pink rabbit introduced in 1973 to show the long-lasting power of their batteries. In the U.S., Energizer uses a similar mascot, the Energizer Bunny, which started in 1988 as a parody of the Duracell Bunny. This happened because Duracell didn't renew its trademark for the bunny in the U.S., allowing Energizer to create their own. Duracell's bunny is still used in other parts of the world. How did a simple decision shape one of music's greatest hits? Let's explore Bon Jovi's surprising journey with Livin' on a Prayer. John Bon Jovi, the lead singer of Bon Jovi, didn't like their famous song Livin' on a Prayer at first. He thought the chord progression and melodies were too simple and almost decided not to include it on their third album, Slippery When Wet. But Desmond Child, the song's co-writer, and bassist Hugh McDonald believed in it. McDonald's bass line added energy to the song, changing John's mind. The song became a huge success, topping charts and becoming a key part of their career. Bon Jovi's hit song almost didn't happen. How did a candy change pop culture? Let's explore how Reese's Pieces became iconic. In 1982, the movie E.T. featured Reese's Pieces, which greatly increased the candy's popularity. The filmmakers originally wanted to use M&Ms, but Mars turned them down. Hershey, which makes Reese's Pieces, saw an opportunity and agreed to the product placement. When the movie was released, sales of Reese's Pieces shot up by 300%. The candy became linked to the film, helping it become a cultural icon of the 1980s. The success of Reese's Pieces in E.T. raised product placement questions. So, what about other iconic 80s innovations? Let's explore the Susan B. Anthony dollar. In the 1980s, the Susan B. Anthony dollar coin faced problems after its introduction in 1979. It was meant to replace paper dollars and last longer, but people didn't like it. The coin was similar in size and appearance to a quarter, leading to confusion. By the early 1980s, the U.S. Mint had $500 million worth of unused coins stored. Despite attempts to promote it, people continued using paper dollars. Some coins were released in the late 1990s and early 2000s to meet specific needs. The Susan B. Anthony dollar coin faced challenges. Could a similar twist await Doc Brown's sidekick? Let's explore that next. In the early stages of making Back to the Future, Doc Brown was supposed to have a chimpanzee sidekick named Shemp. This idea came from co-writer Bob Gale, who thought a chimp would add a quirky touch to the story. But Universal Pictures disagreed, thinking chimpanzee movies didn't do well at the box office. He pushed for a dog instead, leading to the creation of Einstein, Doc's loyal sheepdog. What if Doc Brown's companion was a chimpanzee instead of Einstein? Let's explore how another famous character almost had a different mentor. In early drafts of Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back, Luke Skywalker was supposed to be trained by a character named Buffy, a wise and powerful Jedi Master. But George Lucas and his team later decided to replace Buffy with Yoda. They felt a small, humble character like Yoda would better show that size and appearance don't define strength or wisdom. Yoda's unique design and speech made him a beloved mentor to Luke and fans. What if the Walkman never existed? Let's explore the stereo belt's story. Before the Walkman changed personal music, there was the stereo belt. Created by Andreas Pavel in 1972, the stereo belt was the first portable music player. It was a belt with a small cassette player and headphones, allowing people to listen to music while walking. Despite its innovation, companies like Philips and Grundig dismissed it. When Sony released the Walkman in 1979, Pavel believed it copied his idea. In 2004, Sony settled, recognizing his contribution. Stereo belts revolutionized music. But what made the famous line, "I'll be back," unforgettable? Let's explore that iconic quote next.
I'll be back.
In the original script for The Terminator, the famous line, "I'll be back," was written as "I'll come back." Director James Cameron and Arnold Schwarzenegger debated how to say it. Schwarzenegger thought "I'll come back" was more natural, but Cameron felt "I'll be back" had more impact. After discussing, Schwarzenegger delivered the line as "I'll be back," making it a legendary quote. The unforgettable line, "I'll be back," became a cultural milestone. But what made this next phrase so universally impactful? Let's explore the surprising history behind its influence.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
In the 1980s, the phrase, "We'll be back after these messages," became common in U.S. children's TV shows. The FCC required it to help children tell the difference between programs and commercials. This rule, influenced by concerns from parents and groups like Action for Children's Television, led to the introduction of bumpers with animated characters or jingles marking commercial breaks. The FCC rule reshaped kids' TV. But how did it influence TV personalities like Mr. T? Let's explore his rise next. Mr. T, born Lawrence Turok on May 21, 1952 in Chicago, became famous for his roles in The A-Team and Rocky III. Growing up in a rough neighborhood, he eventually chose to legally change his name to Mr. T to demand respect, wanting people to address him with honor. Before acting, he worked as a bodyguard for celebrities like Muhammad Ali and Diana Ross. His tough look, mohawk, and gold chains made him a symbol of the 1980s. Mr. T's rise to fame is undeniable. But how did Ferris Bueller become an icon? Let's explore that next. John Hughes, the famous filmmaker, wrote the script for Ferris Bueller's Day Off in just 6 days. With a writer's strike approaching in the 1980s, he pitched the idea to Paramount. A high school student skips school for a day. Hughes quickly wrote the screenplay, capturing teenage rebellion and freedom. The 1986 film became a massive success and is now a classic. After exploring Hughes' quick success, how did critics react to Top Gun? Let's dive into Roger Ebert's review next. Roger Ebert, the well-known film critic, had mixed opinions about Top Gun when it was released in 1986. While he praised the exciting aerial combat scenes, he felt the ground sequences were weak and predictable. Ebert thought the love story between Tom Cruise's Maverick and Kelly McGillis's Charlie was unconvincing. Despite his criticism, the film became a huge success, boosting Navy recruitment. Ebert had mixed feelings about Top Gun. But how did voices like Howie Mandel and Dave Coulier shape beloved characters? Let's explore the voice work behind Muppet Babies.
Wish that you weren't there.
Just close your eyes and make believe.
Baby Animal from Muppet Babies was voiced by two famous actors. In the 1984 series, Howie Mandel voiced the characters for the first 2 seasons, bringing his lively energy. From season 3 onward, Dave Coulier took over, known for his role as Joey on Full House. Both actors kept Baby Animal's playful personality, making him a fan favorite, with his catchphrases like, "Go bye-bye."
Go bye-bye!
How did Howie Mandel and Dave Coulier bring Baby Animal to life? Let's explore how Olivia Newton-John's Physical became a hit. Olivia Newton-John's hit song Physical was originally written for a male artist, like Rod Stewart. The songwriters thought it would suit his style after his song Do You Think I'm Sexy? Newton-John, aiming for a bolder image, recorded it despite being unsure about its suggestive lyrics. The song went on to become a huge success, topping the Billboard Hot 100 for 10 weeks and selling over 10 million copies worldwide. How did Olivia Newton-John's bold move influence pop culture? Let's explore the rise of New York's Decepticons gang next. In the 1980s, New York City had a dangerous street gang called the Decepticons, named after the villains from Transformers. The gang's members took names like Megatron and Soundwave and called Brooklyn Cybertron. They became known for their quick attacks and muggings, mainly targeting subway riders and people on street corners. The Decepticons spread from Brooklyn to other parts of the city, causing fear in areas like Clinton Hill, Flatbush, and Bed-Stuy. The Decepticons terrorized the streets. But did Slash's career take a different turn too? Let's explore that next. In the mid-1980s, Slash, the famous guitarist from Guns N' Roses, almost joined the glam metal band Poison. After leaving Hollywood Rose, he tried out for Poison, making it to the final 2 against CC DeVille. Slash realized their flashy image with makeup and bright clothes didn't match his laid-back style. He decided it wasn't the right fit and walked away. CC DeVille was chosen instead. Slash turned down the opportunity to join Poison, but what led Run DMC to embrace their unexpected name? Let's explore the story next. When Run DMC started in 1983, the members didn't like their name. Joseph Simmons and Daryl McDaniels preferred names like the Dynamic 2 or the Treacherous 2. But their manager, Russell Simmons, Joseph's older brother, pushed for Run DMC, believing it was simple, memorable, and would make an impact. As their success grew, they embraced the name, realizing it matched their music style. Run DMC embraced their name after seeing its impact. But what about other bold moves in the 80s? Let's explore McPizza and its rise and fall next. In the late 1980s, McDonald's introduced McPizza to attract more customers during dinner by offering a new menu item. The company invested in special ovens to cook pizzas quickly, aiming for under 5 minutes. But the pizzas took much longer, sometimes up to 11 minutes. The pizza was also expensive at the time, and McPizza was discontinued by the late 1990s. McPizza's quick pizza dream failed, but what inspired the iconic Walkman? Let's explore how Sony's portable music revolution began. The name Walkman from Sony's portable music player comes from the Superman comics. Sony originally considered names like Soundabout for the United States and Stowaway for the United Kingdom, but faced trademark issues. The team then took inspiration from the Pressman, a portable recorder used by Clark Kent in the comics. They replaced press with walk, creating the name Walkman. How did MTV's launch change pop culture? Let's explore Neil Armstrong's decision next. In 1971, MTV asked Neil Armstrong if they could use his famous quote, "One step for man, one giant leap for mankind," in their launch.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Armstrong turned them down, not wanting to commercialize his historic words. MTV quickly replaced it with the phrase, "Ladies and gentlemen, rock and roll."
Ladies and gentlemen, rock and roll.
This change didn't stop MTV from revolutionizing music and pop culture with its music videos and unique programming. After Armstrong's historic decision, how did the 80s revolutionize fashion? Let's explore the impact of the crimping iron next. In the 1980s, Jerry Cosenza, a stylist and co-founder of Sebastian, created the crimping iron for Barbra Streisand's hair. While preparing Streisand for a photo shoot, Cosenza wanted a wavy texture. After hours of braiding and unbraiding her hair, she designed a tool to achieve the look faster. The crimping iron became popular in the 1980s, giving hair a zigzag pattern and a fun textured style. The crimping iron revolutionized hairstyling. But did the 80s inspire iconic names too? Let's explore the story behind The Karate Kid. In the 1980s, the Karate Kid movie became a big hit, but it almost had a different name. Before the film, DC Comics had a superhero named Karate Kid. The filmmakers needed permission from DC Comics to use the name. DC agreed, and the movie kept its famous title, which helped both parties. The film became iconic and the name gained widespread recognition. But how did something as simple as a smiley face change communication? Let's explore the creation of the first emoticon. The first known emoticon was created on September 19, 1982 by Scott Fahlman, a computer scientist at Carnegie Mellon University. He suggested using a simple smiley face to show humor and an upside-down face for seriousness. This idea spread from the university to others and eventually to the internet, leading to the development of modern emojis and keeping the smiley face an important part of digital communication. The first emoticon revolutionized digital communication, but what other surprising 80s moments shaped pop culture? Let's explore Cyndi Lauper's secret contribution next. Cyndi Lauper, a popular pop singer in the 1980s, sang the theme song for the children's show Pee-wee's Playhouse under the name Ellen Shaw. She was known for hits like Girls Just Wanna Have Fun and Time After Time. Lauper used a playful voice for the song, bringing a whimsical touch to the show, which starred Paul Reubens as Pee Wee Herman. Could Toni Basil's cheerleading anthem have a similar cultural effect? Let's explore her unforgettable hits next. Toni Basil was 38 years old when she recorded her hit song Mickey in 1981. She wore a cheerleader outfit in the music video, which she also directed and choreographed. The song, originally called Kitty, was transformed by Basil into a cheerleader anthem with the famous chant, "Oh Mickey, you're so fine." It became a big hit, reaching #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Basil had a long career as a dancer, choreographer, and actress before this success. What new sensation was also taking over in 1981? Let's explore McDonald's game-changing menu next. Chicken McNuggets, introduced by McDonald's in 1981, became a popular item after the company sought new menu items to attract more customers. The idea came from Keystone Foods, which developed the method for making bite-sized breaded chicken pieces. Chef Renee Aaron created the recipe, which became a hit in test markets. By 1983, production issues were resolved, and McNuggets were available nationwide and became a mainstay on every McDonald's menu. McDonald's revolutionized fast food. Let's explore Nintendo's big decision next. In 1985, Nintendo struggled to get its Nintendo Entertainment System into American stores due to the video game crash of 1983. To overcome this, Nintendo offered stores a full refund on unsold units, reducing the risk for retailers. They also included the popular game Super Mario Bros. With the console. By 1986, the NES became a huge success and helped to revive the video game industry in America. After Nintendo's big comeback, could a cereal really shape a future star? Let's explore how Pac-Man cereal played a role. In the early 1980s, a young Christian Bale appeared in a commercial for Pac-Man cereal, which was one of his first acting roles. The cereal, inspired by the popular arcade game, had colorful fruit-flavored pieces shaped like Pac-Man and the Ghosts. The ad showed Bale enjoying the cereal and playing with Pac-Man toys, marking the beginning of his successful career in films like American Psycho and the Dark Knight trilogy. And there you have it, 30 totally awesome and forgotten facts about the 1980s that are sure to bring back some memories. Which one surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. And we'll see you next time.